Hey everyone, I thought I'd jump on here and do some more YouTube, something we definitely want to do more of. And you would have seen the couple of sessions, the Future Ready sessions that me and Jake have been running. We're going to be continuing to run weekly. So I thought I'd jump on, very raw, very unedited, and talk to you a bit more about season one, talk to you a bit more about some of the challenges that a lot of you guys I know face when it comes to navigating the workplace, when it comes to securing opportunities. It's a very uncertain time, very volatile time, very ambiguous as well, which isn't good for the anxiety and isn't good when it comes to structuring your search. So I want to be honest and open. It's very, very tough out there at the minute. I'm sure most of you can feel it, but we're all kind of erring towards blaming AI, right? AI is the conversation on all of our lips. It's the thing that we talk about 9 or 10 times a day, and we see in our feeds dozens and dozens of times a day. Now, that is a big part of it, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but it isn't all of it. It's a piece of the puzzle. So I just wanted to dive in and talk to you. So what's happening? Why are you feeling this way? Why is it hard for you to secure opportunities? And really, what can you do about it? So first things first, and these are all interconnected, by the way. One leads to the other, leads to the other. But we'll try and break it down into individual pieces. So firstly, opportunities themselves, especially if you are fresh out of university, you are looking to get your foot in the door, that first opportunity in sport and football. Entry-level openings, entry-level jobs, so those ones that are 0 to 2 years, they have contracted and are continuing to contract significantly. Depending on where you look, it can be anything up to 30%. So a third of those entry-level jobs, opportunities and experiences are no longer there. So that's the first one. What is this leading to? So most organizations, right, are currently going through this kind of what we call low hire, low fire. So those in kind of mid and senior level jobs, they're just not leaving. Again, for various reasons that we can go into: remote working, hybrid working, state of the jobs market. Those who are in more secure employment are staying put for longer. So what does that mean? Less hiring. And also for those in those junior to junior mid roles, going up in a more linear fashion, which was the traditional way of going through your career not so long ago, is difficult. It's hard to do. So people often feel stuck in their junior roles, and then those looking for roles aren't getting as many opportunities. So that's kind of the first piece: job shrinking. People getting into employment are finding it difficult to go through that linear career path. So what does that lead to? If we look at the average tenure of people, let's look at sports jobs, but this is probably more widespread. Just over a year is the average tenure for a person in a particular job before they move on to the next opportunity. Now, although that's great, and there's loads of lessons learned, new experiences, new expertise, new skills to learn as you move through jobs, what's the downside of that, or the challenge to that? The challenge to that is that a lot of the bigger corporations, the clubs, the brands, they're actually cutting back on reasons to fund meaningful learning and development, L&D, for people at entry-level jobs, because according to the stat, they're just going to leave after a year. So some of that is actually being pulled back now. So we're in very much this kind of doom loop when it comes to entry-level positioning, and all contributing to what you might be feeling at the minute. Then we throw AI into the mix. That causes all sorts of uncertainty, no matter what you think about it. And I've played with it a lot. I read about it a lot from an economic standpoint, but also from a kind of general day-to-day use across different verticals. Everybody is very, very uncertain, even the people who are making the models. And that's coming down into, again, the clubs, the brands, the organizations that are implementing AI or looking to implement AI into their workflows, into their organizations. It can feel rushed. It can feel uncertain. The people who are implementing at clubs generally don't know entirely what they're doing or what the outcomes are going to be. And that's obviously filtering down to you guys and making it very, very challenging. And because of the strength of this narrative, it feels like that's the enemy. That's the only enemy. So what can we do? It's very, very challenging. But there's always opportunities, right? But in order to create a future-ready state, which is what we talk about a lot in season 1, we have to make some changes. We have to evolve with it, rather than just kind of arguing, going, "Oh, I hate this. I hate AI. This sucks. That sucks." We have to evolve, and we have to change, and we have to upskill. So there's things that we can do, and we do a lot of it in season 1. Obviously, you can come join us and engage with all the resources that we do and that we provide for you guys to create that future readiness. But again, start with AI. We're about to run an AI workshop as of recording, and we're not here to change people's minds when it comes to AI. You're going to form your own opinions based off your own experiences. But it doesn't really matter if you are an evangelist, a cautious optimist, or a complete skeptic when it comes to AI. The companies that you're going to be working for and with and alongside, federations above those and the companies above them, they are all implementing the technology. Whether you like it or not, it is becoming more and more embedded into their institutions, their organizations. So we as individuals need to understand how it works, and have a certain level of technological fluency, AI fluency. That's to make more informed decisions about where you want to find the next opportunity, but also to have better conversations. Unfortunately, a lot of companies and clubs and brands are looking for AI fluency, either actively or passively. So understanding it better, no matter what your personal outcome, is going to put you in position to take advantage of opportunities a little bit better. Using tools and outlets to personal brand, let's call it personal brand, but using these tools and outlets to showcase your work, building a portfolio. So whether that's creatively or whether that is talking about what you're passionate about, your particular line of work, not using AI, by the way, authentically going out into the world and building a body of work. More and more people are looking at LinkedIn, looking at that social media as more of a portfolio, as a sales tool for yourself. So again, whether you like it or not, I'm not the world's best at it, but we have to do it. That is the world that we're in currently. And creating points of difference. A question that I've asked in different industries over the years, from the fitness industry to what we're doing now, is why are you different? Why are you different from the other 99 CVs? Why are you different from the other thousands of social media accounts all talking about the same thing that you are? It's a really difficult question to answer, but it's one that we should be tackling, and that all comes from understanding ourselves better, which is, again, our kind of primary pillar within season 1. Who are we? What are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? What are our blind spots? Understanding ourselves. We know that research and science tells us is a really good tool when it comes to getting the opportunities and, most importantly, staying in those opportunities. So understanding yourself, understanding how to collaborate. I just mentioned earlier, the average tenure in a job is just over a year. So how do we, when we're going from team to team and we're going to people we don't know and sometimes we won't like in environments that aren't initially conducive to us, how do we collaborate with others across a diversity of thoughts, cultures, feelings, and opinions, and create great work? How do we do that? Super, super, super important. And obviously how we collaborate with technology is becoming more and more important. So those two things, really, really important. And then the upskilling, right? What are the skills I'm going to need? I mentioned AI, but there are plenty of others. How do I become adaptable? How am I resilient? How am I able to, and this is, Jake talks very, very well within season 1 and in our future ready sessions about piloting chaos. We're in a very chaotic time right now. So how do we pilot that chaos and come out the other side? So yeah, these are my 10-minute rantings over a coffee before an AI workshop. What is going on? It's tough. It's challenging out there. But instead of sitting there and allowing it to take its course, there are things that you can do, that we can do, to create points of difference, understand why we're different, create a fantastic body of work, put ourselves out into the world, understand the technologies that are driving change and driving influence in our markets, in our economies, and in the clubs and in the brands that we aspire to work for. They're a great start. So here are my thoughts. If you want to join season 1, we have a bunch of resources, community events that we run to help you guys with exactly that. We prepare you to become future ready, to be more resilient, more adaptable, and to understand the skills when it comes to what's influencing our markets, our sports, and to help create opportunities for you. So thanks for listening, guys. On to the next one.